There's a quiet truth that most people sense but rarely understand. That somewhere beneath the noise of the world, the human mind holds the capacity not only to perceive life, but to shape it, and perhaps to heal it. Not through magic, not through miracles, but through the subtle intelligence of consciousness itself. The way thought, emotion, and intention ripple through the body like unseen waves. Have you ever noticed when someone you love is unwell, you feel it? Your chest tightens. Your breathing changes. It's as though your mind and theirs are connected through a silent thread. What if that thread isn't metaphorical? What if healing, yours and theirs, begins not in the body, but in the field of awareness that connects all living beings? Science has already brushed against this mystery. The placebo effect, once dismissed as illusion, is now known to activate real physiological changes. When a person believes they're being treated, their brain releases endorphins, dopamine, and healing cytokines. The body listens to belief. Cells respond to thought. Neurons echo emotion. But the question that haunts both mystics and neuroscientists alike is this: can one mind influence another? Can empathy itself, when deeply focused, become a form of energy exchange? Imagine this. You're sitting beside someone who's anxious or in pain. At first, you try to comfort them with words, but then you simply sit in silence, breathing slowly, letting your attention soften. Something changes. Their breathing syncs with yours. Their pulse slows. And for a moment, you both share a stillness that feels alive, as if calmness itself were contagious. That moment is the first doorway into what some call mindful healing. It's not about curing with willpower. It's about creating coherence. When your nervous system becomes calm, others begin to mirror that state unconsciously. It's what neuroscientists refer to as interpersonal synchrony. Brain waves aligning, heart rhythms matching, emotions resonating. From a psychological perspective, this is how empathy heals. From a deeper, perhaps metaphysical one, this is how energy moves. Every emotion you feel creates a frequency of neural firing, a rhythm in your heart, a magnetic field around your body. The human brain generates electricity, literally measurable in microvolts. And when people connect deeply, through compassion, focus, or love, their brain and heart patterns begin to harmonize. In ancient traditions, this was called prana, chi, or life force. In modern science, we might call it biofield coherence. Different names, same mystery. So, if thought can affect your body, and emotion can shape another state of mind, could there exist a level of awareness where focused intention, calm, selfless, compassionate, supports another's healing? This doesn't mean thinking away disease. It means becoming the environment in which healing becomes more possible. Because the body heals best in safety, and safety is born from connection. That's the real art of healing with the mind. Not control, but presence. When your awareness expands, your body relaxes. When your body relaxes, your immune system awakens. And when your intention extends to others, with no demand, no expectation, something subtle begins to shift. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine someone you care for, a friend, a family member, or even yourself, standing in front of you. You don't say anything. You don't force a feeling. You simply breathe, allowing calmness to settle through you, as though your entire being becomes a quiet light. Now, imagine that light surrounding them too. No words, no magic, just stillness. You're not healing them. You're creating a field in which peace becomes possible. That's how awareness transmits, not through effort, but resonance. Every therapist who's ever comforted a patient, every parent who's ever soothed a crying child, every nurse who's ever held a trembling hand, they all know this field, even if they can't name it. It's the silent communication that says, "You are safe." And in that safety, the body begins to repair what fear had disrupted. You see, most illness has two parts, the physical and the emotional. The body suffers, yes, but the mind's reaction, fear, resistance, panic, often deepens that suffering. To help another heal, You don't need to fight their pain. You need to help them release their fear. And that begins with releasing your own. Because energy, whether emotional or biological, flows from state to state. An anxious mind cannot create peace in another, but a peaceful one can remind others what peace feels like. So the true practice begins within. When you learn to quiet your own racing thoughts, your nervous system becomes a tuning fork for others. You stop trying to fix and instead begin to feel. You listen deeply to what's unspoken. And sometimes that's when something remarkable happens. Attention eases. A breath deepens. Tears fall, not from pain, but release. It's as if the body remembers how to heal, as if your presence gave it permission. In this quiet dance of biology and consciousness, both healer and receiver dissolve. There's no separation, just awareness, steady, vast, and kind. The science is still unfolding. Neuroscientists call it neurocardiac resonance, psychotherapists call it attunement, and mystics call it compassion energy. Different languages for the same hidden bridge between minds. Maybe healing doesn't come from you, but through you. Maybe your calmness becomes the doorway. Maybe the universe, in its own intelligence, moves through every connected heart, restoring what chaos once disturbed. So, when someone asks, can you cure someone with your mind? Perhaps the truer question is, can you love deeply enough, quietly enough, to let their system remember balance? Because the mind, when open and centered, becomes not a weapon of will, but a vessel of harmony. And healing, in its purest form, may be nothing more than harmony rediscovered. Silence, the kind that almost hums. In that stillness, the mind begins to sense what the body has been whispering all along, that healing isn't a command, it's a remembering. Neuroscience tells us that every emotion we experience travels through the body like a wave. Fear constricts the chest, guilt knots the stomach, but compassion softens everything it touches. Inside the brain, tiny circuits called mirror neurons awaken whenever we witness another person's emotion. See someone smile, and your own neurons echo that smile. See someone in pain, and your body tightens in sympathy. This is the biological foundation of empathy, and perhaps of healing itself. When you hold someone in your calm attention, your mirror neurons are silently teaching theirs how to find calm again. The rhythm of your breathing becomes a language older than words. Your serenity becomes instruction. If fear can spread like contagion, so can peace. Imagine a therapist sitting with a trembling patient. The therapist does not rush, does not promise cures. They simply breathe, slowly, evenly. Within minutes, the patient's pulse begins to match that rhythm. Science can measure it. Heart rate variability, coherence, entrainment. But what it can't measure is the invisible warmth that fills that space. The sense that someone's nervous system is saying, you're safe now. Healing often begins there, in safety, not in struggle. And yet, there's something even subtler happening beneath the skin. Every cell in your body is tuned by electric potential. When stress dominates, voltage drops, membranes stiffen, the immune system falters. But in deep relaxation, the kind that comes from meditative presence, the body restores that potential. It reopens itself to its own intelligence. So when you enter that same state while thinking of someone else, not forcing an image, not demanding results, you're creating a tiny shift in the shared field between you. Your coherence becomes invitation. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture your breath as light moving gently through your spine. Each inhale gathers tension. Each exhale releases it back into the earth. Now imagine this calm expanding outward, not as control, but as warmth. You don't heal them. You simply dissolve the boundary between your calm and their chaos. That's the paradox of true healing. The less you try, the more it happens. Ancient mystics spoke of this as non-doing, the art of aligning with the intelligence of life rather than directing it. Modern psychology calls it resonant presence. Both point to the same truth. Healing isn't something you give, it's something you allow. You might be wondering, can thoughts alone cure disease? Perhaps not in the way we imagine. But thoughts can transform the terrain in which disease exists. They can change chemistry, reduce inflammation, alter hormones, steady breath. They can shift a person from fight or flight to rest and repair. And when that shift happens consistently, the body begins to rebuild itself. Every night, as we sleep, our cells renew. Every mindful breath gives them better instructions. It's not a miracle. It's biology guided by awareness. Consider this small experiment. Next time you feel anxious or unwell, place a hand over your heart. Whisper to yourself, not with words but with tone, "It's okay." Feel the vibration of your voice resonate through your chest. That sound carries directly to the vagus nerve, the one that governs calmness and immune response. You're literally talking to your body in the language it understands, rhythm and vibration. Now imagine extending that same awareness towards someone else, quietly without telling them. Just seeing them whole, not broken. Seeing them peaceful, not fearful. And in that seeing, something subtle changes, both in them and in you. Because healing, in the deepest sense, is shared. When you wish wellness for another, your own physiology mirrors the very state you wish to transmit. You heal by loving. You strengthen by giving peace. There's a story told among certain healers. When two people meditate together with the intention of healing, the one receiving often reports warmth, light, or tears. But so does the one sending. Because at some level, both are drinking from the same well. You may not be able to cure a body with thought alone, but you can awaken a body's memory of balance. And sometimes, that's enough to start the process that medicine later completes. As you listen to these words, take a moment to reflect. What if every moment you offered calmness to the world? Through a glance, a tone, a breath was a form of medicine. What if the universe itself heals through us, quietly, endlessly, whenever we allow it to? Now, in the silence that follows, listen not to my words, but to the stillness between them. Feel how the body responds. Slower heart, softer breath. This is coherence in real time. This is your nervous system remembering safety. Stay here a moment longer. Let the stillness spread until it touches every corner of your awareness. And imagine somewhere, someone else feeling just a little lighter for reasons they can't explain. Maybe your calm reached them. Maybe theirs reached you. Or maybe there was never any separation at all. When you open your eyes, the world will look the same. The same faces, the same sounds. But you'll sense a quiet shift, like light through fog, revealing shapes you hadn't noticed before. The same life, but softer. And you'll understand, perhaps not fully, but enough, that the mind's greatest power isn't in domination or control or even knowledge. It's in connection. To heal another is to remind them, and yourself, that we were never isolated sparks in the dark, but one vast, breathing awareness learning to love itself whole again. And if that realization lingers, even after this video ends, perhaps, in some invisible way, the healing has already begun.